I'm not quite ready, but I did hear Savannah and Hoda say that we are less than 2 months away from Christmas. Now, of course, Halloween is this Sunday, and I am so late. I was just at Walgreens earlier today, and I'm like, you know what? I gotta have some sort of decoration when kids come by to get candy.
Are you handing out?
I am, and I actually went and got several bags today.
Nice.
I got some M&Ms, and I've got some Reese's peanut butter cups.
Always a hit.
Several bags of those, but I'm like, we gotta do a little bit of decorating, but we're blowing past that with Andy Waterman, Communications Director with Illinois-South Tourism, and we are heading straight in to Christmas because there are so many things going on in the Illinois-South territory that people need to get on their calendar.
It is, normally I'm like, we won't deal with Christmas until after, until you get close to it. It's literally our first event, big event, holiday-wise, is in 2 weeks.
Whoa.
Vandalia Old Time Christmas is literally the second week of November.
And what happens at Vandalia's Old Time Christmas?
Oh, it's a really cool event. They've got a Fashionista Avenue where you can go and shop.
Ooh.
I know you're digging that.
Yes.
And they've got other shopping opportunities. They've got horse-drawn carriage rides and different things like that. It's always a good time. They've got the old State House lit up with candles and things like that. It's really neat.
Real candles or the battery-operated candles?
Real
candles make me a little nervous.
Real candles
these days.
It's neat.
So the Illinois-South Holiday Tourism Times really has all of this stuff. And how many different holiday light displays do you guys have in your area?
A dozen.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. So we've got our new Holiday Tourism Times. That's our publication. It's kind of your go-to for all things holiday in Illinois South over the next 2 months. So they're actually, Josh is perusing a limited edition copy of it now that we got from our press check a couple weeks ago. But they're being delivered to our office tomorrow, and then they'll start being distributed. But if you'd like a copy, you can email a request to info@illinoissouth.org. If you'd like to view it online, you can go to our website, illinoissouth.org, and click on the menu, go to the Plan tab, and then you'll find a section marked Tourism Times, and you'll find it there.
I'm looking in here, and there's a bunch of pictures around the parades and events. The holiday themes are going on. There's one where horse-drawn carriages, and that just, reminds you of Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
But it's in Columbia, Illinois, and this looks like a beautiful little downtown area.
Oh, Columbia's awesome.
I've never been.
Yeah, it's really cool.
This looks so quaint.
It is quaint, cute. And they've got a coffee shop there, a cafe on the Abbey that's really great.
I've never been.
You need to check it out.
Mm-hmm. The other thing is, we didn't have this in New Madrid, but I know a lot of small towns have a Christmas parade, and it's so much fun to kind of get you into the spirit, and there are a lot of those.
Oh my gosh, there's a ton of Christmas parades in Nashville, Illinois, and Washington County, not far off of I-64. They've got a big one there. They've got a big one over in Mount Carmel. And Mount Carmel's cool because when the parade comes, that's one of the staple events. Like when it comes, it's Christmas time. And they do like a big lighted tree that they hang over their Market Street.
Oh.
You'll have to look up a picture. It's lights. It's just lights. It's not an actual tree, but it looks like a tree, and it's pretty cool.
So the other thing that I always enjoy, so many of these towns do a big holiday shopping event. I know that we have Belleville and the market. Mm-hmm. That's coming up when?
So the Chris Kendall Market
Yes.
in Belleville, that if you have not been to that's a must visit. That is amazing. It is like your traditional old style German.
And they do it several weekends, don't they?
They do. So they weekend and days will vary, but they do it Friday through Sunday, some weekends leading up to Christmas, and then Thursday through Sunday, a couple of the other weekends leading up to Christmas.
And what kinds of things can you find? Remind me, because it's been a couple of years since I was there.
Oh my gosh, you can find like collectibles, Christmas gifts, scarves, sweaters, your delicious roasted nuts that they have. So many different things they've got it. And they've got them in these chalets, is where all these, vendors are in these chalets. So it really gives you, and they've got horse-drawn trolley rides and
Kind of
everything.
gives you that German feel,
It
like
does.
you're kind of, because that's what they do. You
Yeah.
know, I have done a couple of river cruises, and we did one along the Rhine. But I know, was it last year or 2 years ago that Gras
Yeah.
did that Christmas market one? And
He wouldn't shut up about it.
yeah, it's really cool, and this kind of recreates that.
The last time I was there when it happened 2 years ago, obviously they were off last year thanks to the pandemic, but I was just there hanging out, and I talked to, there are folks that, the old style German markets, there you can't find them everywhere.
No.
They've got one in Chicago, and I know they've got them a few other places, but I talked to folks from Minnesota who drove down for it. They saw it in AAA magazine and drove down for it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it attracts folks.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
And Belleville is a beautiful place with the fountain, and we were talking about art on the square last weekend. Somebody on the Miracle Ear text line, Columbia, Illinois, awesome, quaint, reminds me of Mayberry. Josh, you need to go and definitely grab breakfast at Cafe on the Abbey.
There you go.
Well, here on the cover of the Illinois South Tourism Times is another picture of the parade in Columbia. It just looks, and I told you a couple weeks ago, I've never taken 270 South into Illinois.
That's right.
That
You
runs
said that.
right
The
into
JV
Columbia,
Bridge.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
So maybe I'll have to, a couple of firsts. I'll go out and I'll see the leaves
Yep.
off of.
You better hurry, because they're starting to turn
They
now.
are.
They are.
They
Yeah.
are. But I'll go see the leaves, and I'll go to Columbia, and I'll check all this stuff out.
And as for shopping in Columbia, they actually do a really cool thing. They've got great shops, but they have this thing called the Columbia Pop-Up Shop. Have you heard of it?
Yes. Tell me more, though.
So it is in a old one-room schoolhouse, and basically they allow vendors who really don't have a storefront per se to go in there, and you can be in there for specific amount of time. I think usually it's 2 or 3 weeks.
And is it open every Saturday, or is it just specific?
Just specific times. So
Okay.
what I would do is I would check. The Columbia Pop-Up Shop has a Facebook page. I would
Okay.
check that before you go. And but it's really cool. They've got different vendors and artisans and crafters and different things in there all the time. And that's another one, a cool thing to go check out.
The thing that we haven't talked about, and it does seem like it's so far in advance, but all of the tree farms. I mean, there is no tradition like going out and cutting down your own Christmas tree, and you guys have a lot of tree farms in Southern Illinois.
We certainly do. We've got half a dozen, and a lot of them, the two of the more popular ones are actually in Bond County, and that is Randy's and Daniken. And my brother lives in Baldwin, and he and my sister-in-law will take their kids over to Daniken, which is Pocahontas. That's not a short drive.
Home of Gretchen Wilson.
There, bada bing.
Mhm.
And a nice winery. I'm sure you've been to that one.
I haven't
Copper
been to
Dock.
that one.
Copper Dock? You
No.
haven't been to Copper-
Okay,
You
I'll
need to check out Copper Dock.
Write
Put
it
on
down
your-
right
she's
now,
writing it
Andy.
down, folks.
Okay. Yep.
But yes, Daniken is right outside of Pocahontas there, and they will drive. It's a family tradition for them. They will drive an hour and 10 minutes from Baldwin and go cut down their Christmas tree. Now Eckert's also does Christmas trees.
Yes.
It's a little closer, but I mean, there's a ton of different places. Like I said, half a dozen to go pick out your Christmas tree, and there's just. It's another thing that's like it's a tradition,
Yes.
a family tradition. Go
And
out and pick your Christmas tree.
Great memories.
Oh,
you
for
know?
sure.
And until the family, I guess, argues over which tree is the best. I've always been a fan of the Charlie Brown Christmas tree. I love it. I kind of like the weak one that just needs a few little ornaments.
Heidi likes a project.
Yeah, sure.
Indeed.
All
All right.
All these things, the holiday lights are easily some of my favorites because, like I said, the dozen that we have some of them are amazing. They incorporate 1.5 million or 2 million lights in some of them.
Yeah, super cool. All right, let's take a quick break and we'll come up and wrap things up with Andy Waterman with Illinois South Tourism. All right, let's wrap things up with Andy here in Illinois South Tourism. So we've been talking holidays, but this weekend is Halloween.
It is indeed.
And so before you go, any big events coming up this weekend that we need to know about?
2 big ones I'll touch on. One we already talked about last week, the Pinkyville Mardi Gras.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure to get out to that. Hopefully weather holds off and everything is good for them this weekend. It's the 99th annual.
Which is kind of crazy. So they know what they're doing.
They certainly do.
You have any idea what that 50-50 raffle is up to yet?
I don't, but we should check because what they said that the largest has gotten up to is 40,000.
Mm-hmm. Who knows?
I'd take home 20K.
Yeah.
Andy, it's always fun to find out what you guys have going on. Of course, people can always learn more at ILLINOISouth.org. We'll see you next Wednesday.
You got it.